and this is Chatter, where we break down the biggest stories and the best reactions of the day. Tweet while you watch using the hashtag Chatter.
And I'm Carrie Keegan. We're filling in for Roxy today. Hi, Roxy.
Hi, Roxy.
We miss you. But don't worry, she'll be back tomorrow.
So the royal wedding is one day closer, and we still can't stop obsessing over who may or may not be attending.
Also, the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer dropped, and we're all screaming, yes, Queen!
Yes! And we're putting Adorkable in the rear view mirror as we say goodbye to Fox's new girl, Tear.
Plus, Jim O'Hara, Parks and Rec fame, stops by to talk about his new show by Scary Mommy, Lullaby League.
Ooh! But joining us now to break it all down is Entertainment Weekly's senior movie writer, P.S. Cineroy. Yay!
Hi, girl. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us.
No, this is so exciting.
It's fun, right?
Yeah, I'm feeling the vibe here. It's good.
All right, so Meghan Markle's dad, will he attend the wedding? Won't he attend the wedding?
This is serious talk we need right now.
This is serious
This
talk.
is the question on everyone's mind. Earlier today, it was reported that Thomas Markle said he wanted to walk his daughter down the aisle after all, but now reports are suggesting he may have heart surgery tomorrow morning and will not be able to travel for the big day. The story's still developing, and Twitter is going bananas.
They are. So at Peabody Lawson wrote, I think Prince Charles should do the honor of walking Meghan down the aisle since the dad is unable to fly due to major heart surgery tomorrow morning. I don't know. I kind of feel like I agree.
I kind of agree with that, too.
And Rhiannon tweeted, I'm no royalist, but imagining my lovely old dad getting the same treatment as Thomas Markle has had this week from the press makes my heart hurt. I feel sorry for Meghan Markle. To be honest, I mean, I do too. Can you even imagine how Meghan must be feeling right now?
I can't even fathom what's going through her head. Here she is planning this wedding that the entire world is watching. She has to be, you know, like on the ball for all of that, and all of a sudden she's thrown this curveball, you know, just a few days before the very, very, very big day in her life. So, and also it's her dad. I do feel a lot of sympathy here because I'm sure her father isn't used to dealing with this kind of attention, with this kind of just, you know, the tabloids, the press.
Do you feel like she has to deal with it differently because it is a royal wedding and there's so much attention on it?
I mean, I think so.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say any bride who has to deal with anything like this.
Nightmare. I got married a couple months ago. It's a nightmare. I could never imagine having this kind of attention.
Right?
No, not in a million years.
So it'd be stressful enough, but then like amplify that by like a billion times because the entire world are going to watch your wedding.
Right.
So it's. I feel for her. I feel really bad for her.
Oh, and then also your dad's sick. Like your dad gets sick around your. It's so. It's a lot.
It is a lot on her plate. So I sort of think the idea of Charles possibly walking her down the aisle.
Do you like
that? Do you think that might happen?
No, I don't think so. I think they have to try and stick, you know, this is the royal family, it's British royal family. There are some traditions I think they are going to probably want to stick with. I'm speculating here.
So if it can't be her dad, who do you think would do it?
It's a great question. We don't know. It could be anyone.
Who do you want to see do it?
I mean, personally, you've got Jerry from Parks and Rec on. Wouldn't that be funny?
Do you think maybe the mom could do it? Is that even possible?
I actually think that might be a nice gesture. It's not steering away from tradition too much to have her mum walk her down the aisle. I think nowadays a lot of brides do this, don't they?
We could walk her down the aisle.
We should.
Oh my God,
I think
so
you need to
I like that idea.
Definitely. I think you should suggest walking her down.
I think we should too.
Yeah.
All right, we need to move on to rock and roll royalty, you guys, and the band Queen.
Yes.
Because we're getting our first look at the Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody, and in case you haven't seen it, here's a little taste. Beelzebub has a devil put aside for me, for me, for me.
It goes on forever, 6 bloody minutes.
I pity your wife if you think 6 minutes is forever.
I'm so excited. Okay, so this is Rami Malek as Freddie Mercury, and the praise not only from me, it's coming in from everybody on Twitter. So Abby tweeted, Rami Malek's Oscar is on its way. Yes! He's so good. Yeah. Anyway, we see a lot of biopics of major artists. How do you think this one's going to stack up?
I think this is going to be a really interesting one to watch. I think for a lot of people who've grown up in the last 20 years, they might not know the true legacy of Freddie and his role in Queen and just how much of a cultural icon he was. Yeah. So, because he died in 1991. So I think this is there's going to be a lot of interest. There's going to be a lot of excitement around it. Sure. And Rami Malek is a very thorough actor.
Yes.
And he did say that he got the compliments of Brian May on his performance. So
how great must that feel?
Can you imagine?
It was a good day.
It's not like he took on a tiny little role that nobody knew. This guy is and he's not easy. It's Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. It's Freddie Mercury.
He's not somebody that's going to be easy to imitate, but it's not just, I don't know, I feel like it's not just an imitation you have to do, you have to live it.
Do you think there's going to be an Oscar for him, or is it too early to tell?
I think it's definitely one of those movies that, you know, has all the makings of an Oscar-worthy movie. And I think if it's pulled off correctly, there's a lot, you know, Oscar voters will know Queen well. There's a lot of love for the band, a lot of love for the music. There could be a really big nostalgia factor here. And if the performances are pulled off in the way that they look like they could be, I can imagine it's very much going to be part of the conversation.
Well, Twitter is already going pretty
Twitter's already bestowed the Oscar.
Yeah, over the trailer. Calvin wrote, the Bohemian Rhapsody trailer sure has a lot of shots with Freddie and women.
Interesting.
I don't know. Do you think this is going to be like a huge cultural queer icon, Freddie Mercury? Like, this is going to raise a lot of questions. Do you think they're going to explain it? Do you think it'll minimize that effect that he had?
I don't think you can do Freddie Mercury's biopic and not, you know, put a real big spotlight on his queerness and how much of a queer icon he was. He also, you've got to realise he was coming up in the 70s and 80s. There's a very different stigma around what being queer meant at that time. And he did have relationships with women, by the way. So, you know, maybe I realised...
saying I had a chance.
I think you get it. You could, you know. But yeah, you know, he talked a lot about it in interviews. So I cannot imagine that they'll be steering away from it. I think it's a very important part of his life, and it wouldn't do anything for his legacy to not have it in there.
Agreed.
Another legacy that we're talking about.
It's all about legacies.
Oh my God, so many legacies and queens.
And another queen, Zooey Deschanel. After 7 seasons and 146 episodes, tonight marks the end of the road for New Girl. Taylor has some feelings. She tweeted this gift of a distraught Jess Day, writing, "How I feel about New Girl ending." Look how sad she is.
No!
I'm also
really sad.
Really bummed. I think the show was great. I think the show is going to leave a legacy.
I think New Girl came along at a time where we needed to see, you know, more female leads in a show. I think the adorkableness was, you know, very cutesy, and there was a need for it at the time. I think we've kind of moved on from that now. We're seeing far more complex women being shown on TV, and so I love Zooey Deschanel. I love Hannah Simone, who plays Cece. I love the guys. They're all so lovely. But I think I'm sure they're also happy to sort of, you know,
move on,
close this up and move on onto their awesome next adventures. And
if you could sum up the show, like if the show did leave a legacy, what are like 3 words to sum up its legacy?
I don't know.
Or 4 words.
4 words?
Take some liberties.
3 words?
Yeah. A sentence. You do you.
Yeah, it was kind of cutesy, empowering, and very entertaining.
Yeah, I agree. That's a good
Also, drinking games. Can we just
So
get to that? Drinking games.
Why aren't we doing that right
now?
now?
Legacy was all about the drinking game.
Where's our drinking game?
Like,
oh, every time we say drinking game, you drink water.
Oh, okay, got it. All right.
New American.
I felt.
All right, so Oliver Hudson dropped his own This Is Us twist on the Lady Gang podcast when he revealed he was up for the role of Jack. But he skipped out on the screen test with Mandy Moore. What was he thinking?
I don't know.
All right, we're going to let him explain.
And my agent says, we got a test, and I really like you, and this, and that. And I said, ooh. I said, I'm supposed to go on a fishing trip. And they're like, he's like, okay, yeah, so. I mean, this is a big thing. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do my fishing trip.
Shut up.
I mean, I don't know about you guys, but can you imagine Oliver as Jack? I don't know.
No.
Like, after seeing Milo, it's like, no one can do that now.
No, I think, you know, things happen for a good reason, don't they? I think we got the Jack that we all deserved, and Oliver's doing great. He's got his new show, Splitting Up Together with Jenna Fisher.
And whenever he doesn't want to work, he just puts a little gone fishing sign on.
Exactly.
Apparently.
He went fishing, and that's a big deal.
Do you like This Is Us? Do you watch it?
I did. I was watching it. I fell off the bandwagon a little bit, and then I read a lot of spoilers about what happened.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's a very sweet show, isn't it?
Sweet. No, it's
just you need to be ready to
devastating.
cry.
Oh.
And I'm not always ready to cry because there's an eye makeup situation. And
That's how I feel about Grey's Anatomy still to this day, by the way. There are certain shows that you're going to cry and you're going to get ugly, and you just need your popcorn and your wine. You need to be alone.
This
Is Us is
very
one of those shows.
emotional.
yes, exactly. You have to plan for it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I loved it. Have you guys ever had one of those moments, like one of those like sliding door moments where you're like, that could have been me, and it's not?
Yeah, I was in an elevator with Jason Momoa once. Man, if things could have gone differently, I wouldn't be here right now. I'm sorry,
No.
ladies.
Your life would be way different.
Very different.
Have you ever had one?
There was one time that I almost gave John Hamm my In-N-Out burger. And I always wonder what would have happened if he actually accepted it. He thought about it. It was a real moment. He was like, I should take that. And then he just, last second, was like, you know what?
Oh, that
I'm
wasn't a
gone.
euphemism. You meant your actual burger.
No, literally. I can't even imagine what euphemism it would be for, but
burger, I don't know.
Yeah, no, it was a real In-N-Out burger.
Do you like it protein style or?
He might have done, and I had bread on mine.
Oh no,
so,
he was like,
you know.
ooh, sorry.
So yeah, I always
season's well
wonder
coming
what
up.
would have happened. That was mine.
Yeah.
Who knows? We'll never know.
You're awesome.
Honestly,
You guys
this
are
was
awesome.
so much fun. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm going to let you get back to work because
Thank
the
you.
internet needs you.
We do.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. Bye. All right, guys, he played the lovable loser, Jerry Gergrich, on Parks and Recreation. Now the Emmy Award winner joins us to give us the lowdown on his new project, which is the baby version of the rap battle called Lullaby League. Please welcome Jim O'Hare!
Hey!
Jim O'Hare!
I heard he was gonna be here.
Cheersy.
Cheers! Wow.
Hi,
You
Jerry,
guys, I have to
Jerry,
tell you.
Jim, wait, what?
Well, would I answered any of it? But listen, this is huge scoop. I also turned down the test for This Is Us.
Did you?
Oliver Hudson and I compete for everything.
Girl. Understandably.
Constant.
Gets
You
in the
know,
way, doesn't
people can't tell us apart. No, I did
You're
not.
doing great. I tell you, everything you've done so far.
Thank you. It's been good so far.
You don't need this.
Yeah, who needs This Is Us? How long will that run? 10, 12 years? Big deal.
We don't need that show when we got Lullaby League.
Exactly.
Before we dive into Lullaby League,
Yes.
Can we just talk a little bit about Bohemian Rhapsody? I know you
my
have
gosh,
some
so
thoughts.
excited.
And I also want to talk about New Girl a little bit, too.
Sure.
But we can choose the first one, whichever one you want.
Okay, well, here's my thing on New Girl.
Say it.
Big fan at the beginning.
Okay.
Still a fan. I am not a fan, though, of shows that immediately, and they did pretty quickly, bring the two main characters together.
Yeah.
I just, for me, it was too soon.
Right.
And then, of course, they broke up, and and I know now it apparently, we've made a jump. I've heard of another show that did a jump. Oh,
Are you thinking of One Tree Hill?
interesting. No, God bless, whatever works.
It's a soft spot. It's a soft spot
A
for
little
you.
bit of a soft spot for our writers. No, actually, it's not. I'm sure it's not big. I'm sure many shows have done jumps.
Yeah.
We weren't the only one. But and I know they're together. For me, I was like, no, it's too soon. It's like when all of a sudden you're introducing a baby. You're like, no, it's too soon for a baby on certain comedies.
But not on
Not on
Lullaby League.
yours.
Well, Lullaby League is all about babies. We begin with babies and we end with babies.
Yes.
Terrifying.
Okay, I'm super excited about Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah, me
What do you
too.
got to say about it?
Well, I saw the trailer today for the
Yeah.
first time earlier today. Not
too.
even then I got to see
Thoughts,
it again on
feelings,
your show.
concerns?
Got that little flutter of, oh, this could be good.
Yes.
Because, he's iconic, and so it
It's
can
easy
go
to
bad.
mess that up,
It's
yep.
super easy to mess it up. You can get the wrong actor. I turned it down. I think it was for the best for everybody. And I did just because of timing. Otherwise, I'm sure they would have wanted me.
I'd
You were
pay
in
money
Toronto,
to see you in
that's
some of those outfits.
Yes, with
though,
the
if you
teeth
wanna
and the
relive
outfits.
it.
Yes, it would have been hot. Ooh. No, but I think it looks. Oh, I was so excited because it looks like it's going. Now, granted, they're showing us great pieces.
Sure.
That's what you do. I think it's going to be good. And
I think
he
it's gonna be
looks
great.
amazing.
He does. It's crazy.
Rami,
how much
what's
he
it?
looks like
Rami.
Rami Malek.
Malek.
Yep.
Holy
Mr.
cow.
Robot.
Mr. Robot.
Oh.
Yeah, he's the real deal to begin with. So they have a legit guy, and they obviously are not straying away from what went down, because I hear it's pretty in depth.
I think if the trailer can evoke an emotion, it's
Yeah.
going to be a good movie.
I think so. Did you guys feel it?
Yes.
Yeah, I felt it. And
I just wanted to see it.
I wanted to know if his teeth
Right.
were real.
Not. When does it come out? Do we know?
No, I don't. Does anybody know when
Anybody
it comes out? We'll find that out. All right, we need to talk about your show.
Yes.
So Lullaby League is like this
League.
unusual little twist on a singing competition that I think is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's from Scary Mommy on YouTube. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, well, first
Or
of all,
a lot of bit about it.
A lot of it about it. I don't even have children, so I think I'm an odd man to be hosting this. But they wanted somebody who was going to be a little snarky and a little, let's just say I'm not always kind to the babies.
Hey.
I find that they can be really obnoxious. Have you
Yeah.
ever seen that with babies? It's all about them.
Oh, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Totally.
Give me. And it gets old.
How
So-
noisy were those babies?
Oh, some of them were a nightmare. I know there's no swearing on this show, but some were
The
real
worst.
bleeps. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
They were nasty, and the parents were so tired.
Oh, no.
So
Isn't that just the nature of the beast?
it's the
though?
nature of the beast. And with the way they did it, which was really cool, we didn't do it like in the studio with cameras and stuff. We went to them. So we went to these homes in New York, and the baby slept in their bed. But of course, cameras were installed earlier in the day, which sounds terrible when I say there were hidden cameras in the baby's room. No, but it was not like that. No, he looks like he knows. Anyway, no, it was all very good. So then the parents, we talked to the parents. And I'd meet the babies, and sometimes the babies of course, all babies are adorable.
Well-
so there's that. Well, no, I mean, if
Oh my
they're-
God, don't
if
you
they're,
say it.
If they're
There are
cooing
no
and
ugly
stuff,
kids.
though, there's that episode of Seinfeld. Did you ever see that when they have to meet the
yeah.
baby? Ah! Yeah, they're literally horrified.
You guys are terrible people.
Well, listen, we're just truth tellers.
We're truth
All right,
tellers.
so here's the deal. We need to look at a clip, but
Okay.
I also got word that Bohemian Rhapsody comes out November 2nd.
Oh,
So just so you guys know.
Damn,
do you guys
okay.
want to all go together?
Yes, we should.
Yes.
We should make
That'll
it a
be fun.
deal.
Yes, and I want
All
us
right.
all to dress like Freddie Mercury.
We can
Girl.
so do that.
Yeah.
All right,
We're
we're
in.
going to watch a clip of your show.
Lullaby
League right now. I
Love
want
it.
to see what this is all about.
But did you realize she would be such a pain in the butt? Did you know that or no?
My mom warned me. She's like, if she turns out like you,
Yeah.
man, you're gonna have
Yeah.
a hard time.
Also, there's this thing called condoms. Check it out in the future. This is craziness. We got to do this now. We want this baby to get to sleep because I can't take it. I really can't. So let's hope perfect fits and get this cutie knocked out.
All right, so how
That is how I feel.
successful-
It's like
Yeah.
the babies can make you crazy. And God bless. I mean, I love being around them when they're not crying and stuff, and I can hand them off. So we were incredibly successful.
At getting the kids to sleep.
Here's what happened. So we put them into the mother would put their father would put them down, and then an a cappella group would come in, not into the room, outside, and sing. Whoever could get them to sleep first won that round. And then every episode it builds, until the end, the two who did the best come in for the final one with a set of twins.
Twins?
Who you got to get to sleep. And that, I can't reveal because it's the closer, but whew, that was a day to remember.
Does it make you want to have kids never?
No, hell no, but nothing would make me want that. No, and that's terrible because, of course, they're all wonderful. None of us would be here if people didn't have
That is
Yeah.
true.
So-
Shout out to our parents.
Exactly. But the music is, I've always been a huge a cappella fan, and the music is really amazing.
Yeah.
These a cappella guys with their beatboxes, the way they can, it's like there's a band in the room. And every parent, every single one, said that their baby went to sleep sooner than they normally did.
Oh, that's cool.
Which I think was something. And so now the music has become so popular that now they're putting, it's on iTunes and Spotify. It's on Soothe Operator.
Do you
Amazing.
drop any beats on Smooth
I do
Operator?
not, thankfully. But they, and all the proceeds go to March for Our Lives, the kids in
that's
Parkland.
great.
So that's a wonderful way. But no, it was wild. And I had never heard of this thing called Scary Mommy. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. And it's for mothers, I guess fathers too. It's this brand, and they have their own YouTube channel and internet stuff, but they do everything for parents, like funny stuff, serious stuff. They make serious stuff funny, when hard topics to talk about. And they let me play, because I couldn't have done this straight. I couldn't have. Because I'm sarcastic by nature. And if there's a baby stinking by me, I got to scream, this one has a full one, get it out. But I will say, babies, if they can evacuate,
Yeah.
they go to sleep.
Ooh.
But I find I'm the same way.
Oh.
So it's all good.
We all have
I
something
find
in
I'm
common.
the same way. Yeah.
Little TMI,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, well, is it TMI or is it the little information that can be used?
I don't
We're
think
gonna
it's
pass this
enough.
along.
Yes, I don't think it's
information.
enough. Thank you. I like how you think.
So we can't have you here and not talk about Parks and
Of
Rec.
course.
Oh my God, the best. Was
best.
it the most fun?
The most fun,
Yes.
7 years. Oh, it's my vodka. Thank you.
That's special.
Is vodka sponsoring the show? God
yeah, it is.
bless.
Yeah.
Oh, good for you. Oh, there we are.
Generic vodka.
It was 7 years of laughs and this sounds so gross because you hear actors say it all the time. We were like a family, blah, blah. Amy, I'm repeating what she said. She calls it lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
And that 8 of us could get together and stay in love for 7 years and still laugh and joke. We still text. We're all on this Parks family text that we...
We were wondering about that.
Yes!
That's
Oh my
amazing.
God.
Do you really have a group text?
Yes, we have a group text.
Is there emojis?
Emojis and there's there you go. That's hysterical. And I just found out today that on June, for LA people, on June 7th, Retta wrote a book, who played Donna Meagle.
Hey.
Retta wrote a book, and I'm going to host it at Barnes & Noble at the Grove.
That's great.
fun.
Yeah, so we'll be together, yeah.
Wait, can we go back to the group text?
Yes.
Who's the most sassy on the group text?
Well, Sassy,
Like, who says the most bad words?
I'm terrible.
That's
Yes,
you.
I'm terrible. I would, Nick, I don't know what he's saying half the time, Nick Offerman, because
Yeah.
he speaks in words that are just too smart
speaks
for
through
me.
his mustache.
And I just
Thingy
don't
thing.
get it. Aubrey is just scary. Amy's are always pretty much loving. Adams are loving. Everybody, Aziz, Pratt, of course, are one crazy thing after the other.
Does Pratt ever leak stuff that's going to happen on Guardians?
Well, we
make
had
those
dinner, all of us, a month and a half ago, and we got some good stuff. I can't repeat any of
Say
it.
it all right
but
now.
we got some good stuff. Yeah, I got some good stuff about about Avengers,
yeah.
and then I saw it, and I was like, yeah, he told me that would happen. And then Jurassic Park, which will be his next release. So yeah,
Huge
he's
fan.
done okay. He's
Yeah.
done
Yeah, he's
okay
all
for
right.
himself.
Little
For a
indies.
while after Parks, I would throw him $20 to cut my lawn. But I think he's doing okay now. So I'm going to let him. I'm going to see how he can do on his own.
Yeah.
If he needs a little help, I'll be there. But
Very
right now,
brave of you.
you have to teach. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Give a man a fish, he'll eat it. Teach a man to fish, he'll sell it. Whatever the saying is, I'm sure it's very relevant.
It seems like Parks and Rec is just doing nothing but getting more and more popular.
It's crazier than it has ever been. We've been off the air for 3 years. As far as network prime time,
Yeah.
we're still on a couple of channels during the day, and of course Netflix and Hulu and God knows where else. And when I'm Chicago, it's crazy. New York, it's crazy. I did a 3-month theater gig in Kansas City. Lunacy. But it's all people
That
who
must feel
love.
great.
Well, the other day in New York, I was going in for a bagel before an interview, and this girl saw me, and she just got all emotional, and she goes, "What are you doing here?" And I thought she got confused, like I
Daddy?
was somebody. Exactly. And I said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just grabbing a bagel." And she goes, "I think she had a little trouble discerning Jim O'Hare from Jerry Gergich."
Oh,
And
that's
she goes,
cute.
"Why are you here?" I go, "Well, I'm going to do an interview." Like, I'm an actor. But it was sweet, and she did a lot of hugging.
scary.
But it was a little scary
she
because I
start
thought
stalking
she
you on Twitter,
thinks-
too?
Oh, everyone stalks me on Twitter. No, I think she thought it might have been Jerry was there.
Oh, no.
And it didn't make sense to her. You know.
What is it
was
about the
weird.
show that you think people, it just keeps, like, the snowballing?
I have a perfect answer. It's the fact that this many years later, we're still on a group text together.
Yeah.
We loved each other.
Yeah.
And I think it shows in the show. And people go, but, they were mean to your character. And, of course, Jerry did get the brunt of everything. But whenever Jerry was in trouble, they were there. So, yes, he was the office joke. But they also gave Jerry the best life of anybody.
And a super hot
Hot wife, super hot daughters. He becomes the mayor for 30 years. He dies at 100 with a wife who still looks like she's 40. Which, by the way, so Christy Brinkley played my wife.
Hottest
Yeah.
thing ever.
5 hours for
happened?
me to get into the makeup in those last episodes when we jumped forward on our show. Other shows should consider doing that. And no, so 5 hours. Now I'm 100 years old. And then Christy comes up to me, she goes, well, look, they put little wrinkles right here. I'm like,
Oh,
you should
shut
have those
up.
normally. You're 60-something years old, but she is.
No, she's amazing
Her and
looking.
Rob Lowe have signed some deal with the devil
For
that is
sure.
wrong. And yet, I'm very jealous.
You still talk to Christy?
I haven't talked to her in
Let's
a while.
call her now.
Yeah, let's get. Some people are like, make your move. She's not dating him. And I go, yeah. See, this is TV can be fantasy land. That don't happen in Jim O'Hare's world. So that just.
I say go for it.
You
You're
never know.
adorable.
But she is sweet and she really. This sounds weird, but her smile kind of lit the room, if that makes any. You ever
Like
meet
Mary
someone
Tyler Moore's?
like Mary Tyler Moore, who I got to meet? Oh my
You
God!
did?
That's
And
awesome.
this is 100 years ago. She was hosting SNL. I went to a taping, and at the rap party afterwards, my friend's like, "This is it. You better say something now," because I kept getting tongue-tied. I never get tongue-tied. And I walk up to her, and she looks at me, and I couldn't speak. So she goes, "Did you want a picture?" Like talking like I had a problem. I go. She goes, okay, so we take the picture, and then she just starts walking away. I go, I'm in awe of you. Well, of course, to this day, I have friends who will just go, I'm in awe of you. Because it was like, she really thought I had. In the old days, we used to use the R word. She thought I was, but now we see, she would have thought I was challenged.
So you guys are not group texting?
No, I wish I was, because I love, no, she's gone now, but I love Mary Tyler Moore.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that Chris Pratt, like on the group text and stuff.
Yeah.
So, what was it like being on a show with somebody like Chris Pratt, whose career just like skyrockets? This show skyrocketed like 12 different people's careers.
Yeah.
Did everybody sort of turn into different people? Did you all decide that you were cooler? That this group text that now that you're on is like.
It couldn't be more like it was from day one. Pratt hasn't changed at all, and I don't mean that in a negative way, because he is like I think I am, just a dumb a-hole, and he is, and I mean that in the most loving way. Like, in other words, he's just a fun guy. He's talented, but he doesn't have an ego that's crazy, because I've seen it. I've been around it when things go off the rails, and that's just not who or any of them.
If we asked them the same question, would they be saying the same thing
No,
about
I
you?
have gone
Yeah.
off
That's
the
what I
rails.
figured,
That I am so close to throwing this in your faces. I mean, I am just. I'm gonna kick
got
the
you vodka,
monitors.
man.
You don't know what. It's good vodka in your eyes. I'll tell you that.
It
No, I am crazy. Yes, crazy.
So the same people that produced Parks and Rec produced Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yes.
Did you hear about this like random thing
Please,
where it got
they're
canceled?
back because of me.
They're back because of
I
you.
tweeted
What
that I
did
was
you
upset.
do? Get out
And
of
that
here.
tweet, next thing you know, they're back. No, certainly not because of me, but I did tweet that I was upset. One of the guys who worked on Parks, Dan Gore, co-created it with Mike Shore, who co-created Parks.
Right.
It's an awesome show.
It's
and
great.
I've been on it. I've guested on it a couple times.
So you're not biased or anything?
So I'm not biased at all. But it truly, and this is because of who Dan is and Mike, they have hearts, and this show has heart. It's why Parks did what it did. And so I'm like, how is this show gone when other shows are still on that I don't understand
What
why
was
they're
that
still on?
emotional roller coaster like for you? That like
For
renewal
that,
and then cancellation.
We dealt with it every year.
Yeah.
We never. People are like, oh, you guys had a nice run of 7 years. Every year we thought we were gone.
Yeah.
So it's this time of year right before the upfronts, they call them when they announce their shows. It's terrifying. You're like, what's going on? What's going on? And then we found out that one time, Amy told this story, we were canceled. They got on the plane in New York after some meeting, canceled us, and by the time they landed, we were back on the air. And none of us ever even knew that.
When was it?
You
I
guys
think
flew
after
back
season
in time.
4.
That's what happened.
Is that what it was? Yes.
You
That
just
could be a
changed
show.
everything,
Actually, I
yeah.
think there's a new show about an airplane that stays up for 5 years or something.
That's what's happening.
That's what's going on. But
All
yeah,
right,
so
reverse
we were
Lost.
kind of canceled, but we never knew about it. Yeah, but every year we sweated it out. It's the nature of the biz. I mean, there's the rare show like Modern Family or Big Bang, they know they're golden until they want to be there.
Yeah.
We weren't that show. So every year, and we're texting, have anyone heard anything? What have you heard? What have you heard? And Mike would be like, I haven't heard anything. I don't know. I know. And then one year they were like, they called Amy, said, well, they want me at Upfronts, which is a good sign.
yeah.
That means, but I have heard stories. I'm not going to say who told me the story because I don't know if he would want me to, but a very, very famous person who was on his way to Upfronts, and when he landed there, they said, your show's not going. And so he literally was flown to New York and got off the plane and told it's not happening.
That is harsh.
So that's harsh. So it's a tough. So when Brooklyn Nine-Nine, so they pull it.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? But again, welcome to biz, you know. And it really, a lot of it is just business. Studios own part of it, networks own part of it. But if the network owns all of it, it makes it better because in syndication they can. So there is a lot of business that's being done. So I was like, oh, this makes no sense. And then, I don't know, how many hours later, they're back on NBC.
All right, I got some more business we got to get with you.
Uh-oh.
We're going to play a game now. You ready?
Oh, God, yeah.
We're going to play a game that we like to call My First Time.
Okay, well, I thought it was a woman, but wait, I'm sorry. What are we doing? What's this story?
I want your first weird fan interaction.
Go.
My first weird fan interaction, Rodeo Drive. She screamed, and I thought something was happening with like guns or something. Like it was such a horrible scream of, ah! So I'm, nowadays.
I'm terrified.
And she goes, from that show. And then I go, yeah. She goes, The Office.
Oh,
nice.
Close.
super fan.
Close.
First celebrity crush.
Oh my God, so many. Oh,
Name
first though.
one.
Carrie Keegan.
Well, I will tell you this.
That was mine.
What did you say?
Carrie Keegan.
Carrie Keegan, of course.
Yeah, of course,
That's the
yes,
given.
of course.
Well,
One
no,
of
that
us.
was just that one night of. But no.
Glad it was good for you.
Here's what's weird, though. I will say, Christy Brinkley. I had her on my wall
Yeah, you did.
It's called the vision board.
when she was in a red bathing one piece in those days,
yeah.
and so she was a crush. I don't know if she was because age-wise, I'm trying to figure it all out.
Did you tell her?
Oh God, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
she knew everybody had her.
Everybody had
And
it.
I will tell you this: the Parks had so many different guest stars here and there, celebrities. I never saw the crew line up to get pictures like I did with Christy Brinkley.
100%.
The dudes were lined up because they were like me. They have known about her because she was also the first, as she will say, that not plus model, but normal model.
Oh,
It
yeah, she had
wasn't the
curves.
twiggy.
Yeah.
She had curves
She had a
like I
body.
think women are supposed to have.
100%.
And so it wasn't just this wafy, and she made a career of being certainly not big, but what is the term? Normal. Like healthy.
And we made a career out of looking at her. All right.
Yes.
One moment in your life that you wish you could do over.
Ooh.
Or like, sorry. I worded that completely wrong.
Wow. I would say the last 10 minutes, but I don't know if that's what you're looking
What's
for.
the first thing from your life that if you could, you would do over?
First thing from my life that so many things. Actually, not so many things. I can truly say when my dad was sick, I should have been there more. I didn't know how bad things were. So I have, and I was there at the end and all that kind of stuff, but I wish I had been there more during the illness itself. I didn't mean to bring it down, but you didn't
No,
say.
who's the first friend you made on Parks and Rec in the cast?
What's the first
Who's
one?
your first friend that you made on the Parks and Rec
Retta.
cast?
And she's my girl to this day.
Nice.
She's my girl.
Oh, so you guys have a separate text thread. I get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're texting today. Yes, we were.
That was fun. Thank you for all the
Great
first.
Guys, so much fun.
We have another game.
Oh!
I know. In honor of Lullaby League,
yeah?
which has made you an expert when it comes to putting babies
Oh,
to sleep.
yeah.
You're in trouble now, by the
We're
way.
gonna play a game called Soothe Operator, and we're gonna give you. I'm sorry, it's called Soothe Moderator.
Oh, because the operator is ours.
It's- yeah,
yes,
yeah.
Yes,
We don't
How
want to
dare
get
you steal
sued.
that?
I'm so
Yes,
sorry.
yes.
We're gonna give you a word, and you're gonna have to use it to create your best lullaby for a baby. Are you ready?
This
you
is
good at
terrifying.
this?
I
Are you
don't
do this?
sing. No, I don't do this. I
Okay,
don't
you
sing.
let
but
the
I'll
professionals
try
do
to
it, but
do
now
this.
you're
I
on-
bring
you're
in
on.
people to do this. I
Are you
don't do
excited?
this.
Are you ready for the challenge?
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm afraid for you.
first
to
one?
this camera.
To the unicorn pillow, because that's your first one.
Oh, this is my first one?
Yep.
6, 7, 8.
You are my sweet unicorn. You bit me, you son of a... See? And look. Isn't that sweet?
So good.
All right.
Yes.
Your next one is going to be a lullaby inspired by Parks and Rec.
Ooh.
Amy Poehler from Parks and Rec.
There she is. Sing to her.
Oh, my Amy. Oh, my God, my Amy. Boy, I can't use a tune, though, right? A song that we
No,
know.
you have to make up something
Yeah.
else.
Amy Poehler, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Never heard this before.
Don't mock Jerry. Jerry is wonderful. Go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yes. That was very
All right,
soothing.
what about the chatter show teeth right up there?
Right up there. Those,
what?
those show teeth right there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Chatter teeth.
You're obnoxious. You're obnoxious. Actually, I love cheddar teeth.
Yeah?
I do actually.
You have
love
them?
cheddar.
About a
I have
positive
cheddar teeth,
reaction.
and I have cheddar teeth, and I have that thing that sounds like clapping. Because I've had friends just say I always need applause. So I have the chatter because people are always talking, and the things on my desk.
Okay.
With my Emmy. But anyway, just happened to bring
Not
that
to
up.
throw that in or
Happened to bring
anything.
that
All right,
up. Whatever.
now
People have
your
them.
very last lullaby
Yeah.
is going to be about Chris Pratt.
Oh, my dear Chris. Oh my goodness. You are just so handsome. I find that I cannot stand up now.
Oh, no.
Oh my.
Here, wait.
Okay, did
you
this
need
go
that
wrong?
one.
Did I
You need
feel
that
like
one,
this?
Jim.
I feel like this has gone wrong. I feel like.
I think it went right.
You think it went right? Yes, yes.
Jim, you're
I love
awesome.
it.
We give a round of applause.
Those are excellent.
Thank you so much for joining us.
soothed
Everyone
us
make sure to
all.
watch Lullaby League by Scary Mom on YouTube Wednesday nights.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you guys. So much fun. My goodness.
I like being here with you.
I like being here with you.
Wow. I like being here with both of you.
Oh, Roxy is going to be back live tomorrow with more stories and more of your reactions. Plus, Clark Gregg from the Marvel Cinematic Universe will be here too. So make sure you send in those questions for him using the hashtag chatter. Have a tweet night.
Oh my God, how cute is that? Have a tweet night.
Have a tweet night. Do you get it?
I
It's
get
Twitter.
it. I know, I get it.
Bye.